Yeshua. Ozi v'zimratya vayehi li 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 Yeshua. Boker Tov, good morning. It is great to be back with you again 2 mornings in a row. So that is a blessing for me, and hopefully for you too. And so we come to this place. Yesterday we talked about, I thought it was going to be raining today, so it would be a segue into my talk, my wisdom. But anyway, nonetheless, I'm happy it's not raining since I have 2 funerals to do today and teaching all night. It's nice that it's the sun is shining. The grass is a little wet, but the sun is shining. It's fine. Ellis went to school with dirty hands because he can't resist touching things outside in the morning at the bus stop, but I guess I'm just learning how to accept it, which is rough. But here we are with an opportunity to continue our discussion about Noach. Our our teaching yesterday was walking with God in a corrupt world and realizing that it's not about perfection, but it's about persistence and just figuring out how to walk with God is to keep building when the world stops believing. Which brings us to today's teaching, which is, after the flood, finding renewal in the wreckage. And so what are we gonna unpack and uncover today? So after the flood, right, there's the idea first that the people are corrupt and just nobody's listening and there's havoc going on. And the flood comes, and then there's this place of like, now what? What's going to happen now that the waters are here? And then what happens after the waters recede? So the flood is one of Torah's most devastating stories. The earth that was once called very good, Tov Ma'od, has rotten from within. And the verse says that all flesh has corrupted its ways upon the earth. It's not just people behaving badly. I mean, it was a lot of that. But the world itself had absorbed this kind of violence or distress or unrest. And it's striking that the word used is Hamas, which means violence, injustice, and cruelty. It's not a ritual sin, not idolatry or impurity, but it's, in many ways, I think, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, but maybe it's worse. It's an ethical collapse. Violence, injustice, cruelty. Okay, it's not the sins of, commandments, thou shalt not. But an ethical collapse is what we're living in right now. The earth drowns not from the rain, but from the moral erosion that is taking place. The flood isn't framed as divine revengeance so much as it comes from a place of sorrow. God regretted having made humanity, it says, and God's heart was saddened. It's like, the child or you being the child or you having a child, but, never wants to hear that yelling is one thing. But when a child hears that their parent or their teacher or their coach was disappointed, it always feels much worse. So we're called to God's heartbreak, weeping as the waters are rising. It doesn't come from a place of, ugh, I hate what's happening here. It comes from a place of, I can't believe this is happening. God doesn't rage, God mourns. The world self-destructs, and even the Creator grieves. We can understand that message when we look around. We know what it feels like when the human spirit seems to sink. When polarization, when cruelty, when indifference flood the streets, flood our screens, flood our being. Sometimes the waters we face aren't rain, rather despair. And so the ark was a means of survival, not an escape. Noah's ark drifts on endless water. There are some rabbis that say that the flood lasted not for 40 days, but for an entire year. Months of confinement, uncertainty, and silence. Imagine it, a family floating above the graves of everything they knew. The ark is less a cruise ship, more like a claustrophobic vessel, a womb. Inside, life is waiting to be reborn. That image feels really close after the past few years. Pandemic, lockdowns, wars, hatred, anti-Semitism, hostages, captivity. The sense that normal life has dissolved. Many of us have felt that we are right there with Noah for a while. Some of us still feel like that, isolated, watching the world that we didn't recognize, wondering what would emerge when the waters subside. For those that have come out of those places, the confined womb, maybe are feeling, wow, the waters subsided, but here we are, not feeling that reborn. And some of us, God willing, are feeling reborn. When Noah finally opens the window and the dove returns with an olive leaf branch, the Torah echoes the language of Bereshit. God remembered Noah. The wind passed over the earth, the waters subsided, creation is happening again. But this time, it's creation with memory. The world is not going to be innocent again. Instead, God willing, it will be resilient. That's what renewal looks like. It comes with wisdom. Maybe the sacred pattern of life itself, destruction, waiting, rebuilding. The flood becomes the world's mikvah. A purification large enough to cleanse the planet. I learned, and together we learned from Zohar. It calls it the waters of kindness, hidden in judgment. The waters of kindness, hidden in judgment. Even devastation can carry the seed of repair. And so, Lord Rabbi Jonathan Sacks of blessed memory once noted that the first thing Noah does when he steps onto the dry land is not build a house, but build an altar. He thanks before he rebuilds. Gratitude becomes the foundation of this new world. When our storms end, when we come through illness and loss and heartbreak, war and separation, our first act must also be an act of thanksgiving. Not because we're untouched, of course. We all are touched, affected. But because we're still capable of rebuilding. Gratitude is the dry ground under our feet. The flood story asks, What do we do when our world collapses? We can stand in shock at the wreckage, or we can begin again. Sometimes, depends, sometimes renewal isn't that dramatic. It's a quiet act of lighting Shabbat candles after a tragedy, or showing up for community, or choosing hope over bitterness. It doesn't have to be so dramatic. It just has to be. That's our altar. So as we go out into this day, the flood ends. But the rain never truly stops. Somewhere, it's always raining on someone's world. The task of the righteous is to keep building arks, not to escape the flood, but to carry compassion through it. Beloved friends, let us remember, choking on my sweatshirt, let us remember something that's so important, as we learned yesterday and as we will continue to push through this week. Righteousness is not perfection, it's persistence. Let us remember it, let us carry it, let us hold on to it, and let us remember that building an ark is not an escape, but rather a vessel of compassion as we carry through. Our teaching on Friday will be living through the storms, this rainbow covenant, and we'll continue to unpack Parshat Noach. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 9:30, Friday at 9:30, and then 6:30, and Saturday morning at 9:30. Have a great day, everybody. We are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you, and we look forward to continue to weather the storms, to find renewal in the wreckage, and to walk with God amongst the corruption of the world. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Od Avinu Chai.